This season's first real cliffhanger had left us wondering who Whitney had voted for, given episode 3 left us with Jackie and Molly tied in a re-vote for banishment. Would Whitney vote out a faithful or enact her plan of using Jackie as bait to give the faithfuls a traitor? The anticipation wasn't for long. Whitney voted for Jackie, which meant all 3 traitors had voted for one of their own. A successful plan actioned. There were a lot of emotions during and after this roundtable, but there was one incident that was still in focus. There was obviously still tension between Brianna and Donna after what happened at the roundtable. Funny that Brianna said to Ben that she finds Donna intimidating. Brianna certainly didn't look intimidated by Donna during the roundtable. Brianna wanted to talk to Donna, but she refused. It's understandable with it being so raw that there needs to be a bit of time and distance to cool things off, or it could get worse. Not sure how Brianna sat with a straight face in her VT and called Donna's reaction to Brianna wanting to talk to her as pathetic, when Brianna herself called out her own behaviour as yelling at Donna like a 5-year-old. Though we never did get to see any resolution in this episode, seeing as Brianna spent most of the next day away from the main group. There was no murder but a death list instead. Brianna, along with Andrew and Noel, were the unlucky 3, which also saw them dig in a grave instead of participating in the mission. They might not have known it, but they might not have necessarily got the shorter end of the stick, seeing as what the rest of the players did for the mission. 3 teams of 5 trying to guess the body part and animal of what they had in front of them. Depending on what their team leaders had picked, they were either feeling it, looking at it, or tasting it. This would be one of the worst missions for me. I would have issues with the smell, taste and texture of these parts. Plus, I would also be throwing up either from the smell or having a bite or hearing someone like Jane retching. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, but given the little sections I actually eat, this would be too much for me to try. Every time there's a death list, there always seems to be speculation that a traitor has put themselves on the list. The faithfuls mostly assume it's happened when a lot of the times it's just 3 faithfuls. Season 2 of the UK version was an example of when putting a traitor on a death list was both a bad idea and a good idea. If the general consensus is that a traitor is on the list, it only works out well to put a traitor on if you wanted to get them banished, but if a shield is in play, then it can complicate matters. There was no shield up for grabs in this episode. Things didn't look good for Noel. Suspicions were already on him with 3 votes in the previous roundtable, but with everyone thinking a traitor had put themselves on the death list, he was the one people thought, even including Andrew and Brianna. Or at least we thought Brianna was on the same page as Andrew. Is Brianna going to give us drama at every single roundtable? I just did not see that coming. I thought she agreed with Andrew about his suspicions of Noel, but instead she turned it on Andrew. As it was pointed out, the Brianna at the roundtable seems to be a completely different Brianna everywhere else, causing drama, and she's starting to be a distraction in actually finding traitors. I once again ask, how can she call someone's reaction pathetic when she's displaying all these various reactions she has? I'm not going to speculate into her personally, but if there's something beyond what we see that will explain her situation, then it might start having more of a detrimental effect to her game. Everyone else will eventually vote her out either because they think she's a traitor or her distractions and erratic behaviour make her look like a bad faithful. Funny how Andrew knew from day one that Jackie was a traitor, but we all know that she wasn't initially picked as one. Andrew had asked Molly not to tell anyone what Jackie told him.
And she said, I told them if you were murdered, I was leaving too.
Molly didn't fulfill Andrew's request and told a few others. Andrew himself also later revealed this at the roundtable. At the beginning of the episode, I thought the votes would mainly be for Brianna, Molly, and Noel. Putting Andrew on the death list and then his attack on Noel really worked against Andrew. It was that close of a vote that if Andrew had voted for Noel instead of Brianna, there would have been a tie and a re-vote. Instead, Andrew was banished.
Dug my own grave today, I suppose, in more ways than one.
Whitney's performance in the mission has Mike questioning if she's really a funeral director. Also, he wants her gone, and it will be interesting to see when he makes a move. By the looks of the previews, that is coming sooner rather than later. It was so funny seeing everyone's heads turn between Brittany and Whitney like they were watching a tennis match. Whitney has been very wary of Brittany from the start, and with Brittany actually challenging Whitney, I wouldn't be surprised if Mike uses this and Brittany as an opportunity to get rid of Whitney.